Welcome to
Technology
Automotive.
Well, I guess since my other son isn't here, gaming.
Yeah, like Atari. Gaming. Pac-Man.
and today,
Pac-Man.
Oh, Miss Pac-Man. Okay.
Ms. Pac-Man.
Got it.
and today, since we have yet to put the monitor in on Shane's computer, over there in the corner, looking all nice and pretty. We got lights on there though. We said we'd do some work on it. We're gonna actually put the monitor in. However, we broke the old monitor out of just sitting on the shelf. Shock.
Static Shock, I think.
Yeah. So
It's a shame. It's a very green tinted, and I kind of like the
Yeah.
green tint. I mean, it sounds kind of silly, but I like the green tint. I thought it'd make the whole computer look unique.
but this did cause a flaw, having multiple.
Yeah, because normally if you look, it's supposed to be like that, and it's like supposed to touch.
We were gonna do a ribbon cable extension type thing, but we never got the chance. So
New monitor, bigger hole.
after 3 monitors, we tore that one apart, and I shocked that one up.
Yeah, it's just, they don't like to be torn apart.
So we are going to be very careful. This one has yet to be 100% torn apart. We have taken it down to the bare minimum, to the point where we are now to the point where we are like, any further, and we should put it into a new surrounding. So we're going to do that today, and hopefully have the side monitor and possibly front monitor
Done.
mounted. So
Done.
stay tuned.
Let's get done. How pretty wash. Look at that right there.
Whoa.
Tag, you're it.
Okay, we're back after a lot of headache, but a few days later, we got it done. We were able to do the SNOWBLIND.
Yeah.
You see. Now, we don't have windows on there, and the computer's still not done, so any of you are like, well, let's see all the cool things. You gotta
wait.
Gotta wait.
So we had a little bit of problem with the other monitor. We had to cut out the new shape for the monitor, and they had to. You get well, y'all do.
We had to desolder, figure out what wires were needed, and rewire it into the power supply of the computer, so that the monitor now runs off the computer power supply.
That's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah. We got most of our information from Modernation. I will throw a link to Modernation. He has a decent video of how he did the mod. However, there are a couple things that I disagree that we came across with what he said. Number one, do not diffuse a power supply like it's a bomb and just clip wires till you discover it turns off, because it would not have worked in our case. Absolutely not have worked in our case, because we took a multimeter. That's the best way to figure out what you need.
Voltmeter, actually.
Voltmeter,
Yeah,
multimeter, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all you need is a DC one. They're fairly inexpensive. You can get them for like 10 or 15 bucks.
Even for Shane, they're
online.
expensive.
Yep. We did somewhat do that idea, but we did take the 5 volts, because I know 5 volts is important and all the grounds are important, and it helps to figure out what the traces are in the back. And in our case, we discovered the 5 volt wires and all the grounds were on the same trace.
Yep, they're all tied together.
They're all tied together.
Bridged together.
And you don't want to not just skip one of the 5 volt wires, because
of your current. You want to be able to deliver the amount of current that needs to go to the video card for the monitor.
and you could potentially have one of those wires overheat, and
Well, if it's too small, it's not
Yeah.
going to allow enough current to go to supply it, and your voltage will actually drop because the wire will act like a resistor. We also found out that we needed, in order to run the circuitry on the board, we needed the 3.3 volts.
which is also on a power supply coming to our computers.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so we were able to tap with a standard cable, just cut the cable and then tack solder the grounds, and our grounds are the violet, blue and gray for this specific monitor.
The monitor we used was a model number 1708FPB, but that won't matter because the chance of you having the same monitor is slim to none. So you may not need the 3.3 volts. You may need the 3.3 volts.
Right.
But you probably are almost guaranteed going to need the 5-volt wires.
Yep.
Would you not agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And definitely the grounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for the Dell,
That I do know.
yeah. And for the Dell, we found that was the yellow, orange, and red. And then the 3.3 was the brown and green that came off of here for 3.3 volts.
Right.
And of course we took that off of the power supply, soldered those to that cable that we built to go into there, into the power supply.
And completely bypassed
That power
board.
supply.
But with that,
We got this.
got
Let's
this.
liven this up a little bit. So let's slowly and carefully, with the power off, take off this cover. We left the film on because if we didn't leave the film on, we already broke the monitors. We don't break 2 monitors. So if you cut in there, we actually flipped the monitor upside down. Tristan did actually, because he realized that we couldn't put the board up here. It wouldn't fit. So he put it upside down.
as you can probably see,
Yeah, you put it upside down, and in Windows we'll change it so the picture goes up. I mean, it looks super cool. And if you saw it before, it looks a little dark right now, but we did put a lot of LED strips around here. And when we have an image that's not black, because the startup boot up menu is all black, we're gonna have a nice, crisp, like flux capacitor or a DeLorean or a Koenigsegg, something cool. And when that goes in there with we'll pick a whiter background, it'll look really cool and you'll be able to see in through. And that would just make it look awesome. We did add these LEDs, Tristan had the LEDs, he just did a lot of work, you know, he's a hard worker there. So you put in the LEDs, it gives a lot more light. And there's so much light in here, I mean, just ridiculously bright. Let me show you here. Ridiculously bright. I mean, this thing is just boom, and it needs to be to get that screen to go up. And we got the back put on, and when you have a nice image, it's gonna look fantastic. It's a beautiful car, a flux capacitor. I really want a flux capacitor. I think that looks just fantastic. Fluxing and doing its thing. And even though it's upside down, we're just gonna put in Windows reverse the image. Right now, unfortunately, it is kind of the boot screen, but after we redo everything, it won't be the boot screen, and it'll look really nice. That's blinding. I just gotta look at that. Oh my gosh! Even with sunglasses on at night with that on, it's just blinding. I'll tell you what. Could be a nightlight, you know? Yeah. Kids are afraid of dark, give them this.
So if you do this, LED strips are really easy, and you can't really fry an LED strip because if you put positive to negative, it just won't turn on.
It's all cut straight cuts, so like it's hard to see because it's so bright, but inside here everything's cut and soldered, cut and soldered, cut. So it's all because if you didn't do that, you'd have to get around the corner. And PCs, they're square, turns out. Fancy that. So a square PC obviously needs a square light output, but you don't notice really because you're not looking at the lights, you're looking at the PC itself, so you're never gonna notice the weird squareness of the lights.
So also when you do this mod, I would recommend some sort of plexiglass. It will reduce the light going through. That's why you should probably put it on the outside, not the inside, to help give you a better image quality.
Like we did.
Now when it's in a monitor case, obviously it has plastic and stuff behind it. Also, when you peel the film, at that point, be very careful because you can scratch the surface a lot easier. You have an LED strip on your glasses.
That took you a while, didn't it?
Anyways, so you soak the monitor with towel. I think it wasn't. They say 12 hours, but it wasn't even 12 hours. We did it for like 3 or 4.
You know, it was a little more, it's like something like that. But we soaked it with distilled water. You gotta use distilled water because if you don't, then it's gonna got electrolytes. You don't polarizing the water, which is bad. You want non-polarized, straight, pure water.
Pure water.
And it was cool.
It was. On the sides for the peel.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh man, that's ridiculously satisfying. Semi.
Look how cool that was.
That
was amazingly cool.
Very shiny.
It's actually thicker than
that was
thing.
really
How
cool.
thick that is. It's really thick. That's
Why? What happened?
We peeled that off of the freaking monitor.
So shiny.
This was the film, the anti-glare film on top of the monitor, soaked for 3 hours. And now there's a shiny glare
On the monitor?
on the actual display.
It's still got a little green tint to it. I like that.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Really?
So now we're gonna let it dry. Cool. That was the peel.
That was pure. Yeah, it was fun to do. I didn't do a lot of the work, but it was fun to watch him do the work.
We also took plexiglass, cut it, and then we took the original backing to this board that powers the LED or the LCD, and then the graphics board.
Yes.
The graphics board, which we have VGA and HDMI going into this one. We broke the other one. That was only VGA, but you want to stay with VGA. A little side note is because they're bigger pixels.
Yeah. So if you had a Xbox One and you have big squares, there's not enough light to kind of see contrast all that beautiful picture. But if you have an N64 with shitty light, then the picture will show up great because it doesn't matter.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah,
so when you're trying to make the light, you don't have to be as crazy perfectionist as far as the white goes in the case and the light goes, because you have bigger
Crappy
squares.
Crappy ass monitors.
Right.
They work great for this, and they're really easy. And if you find them at Goodwill, if you break it, oh well.
For $5-10.
Who cares?
We went through 2.
Went through 2, yes.
Yes.
Another cool thing we did is, like just said, we did plexiglass here. We cut the board, we put plexiglass there, and we just Velcroed it in.
The video board, we cut plexiglass out just the right size of the board, and there's 3 holes on board that would go into anything. And where those 3 holes were, I had a bunch of these motherboard risers, and I literally just drilled a hole just small enough, and then slowly created threads in the plexiglass
to screw the standoff.
To then screw the
riser on.
standoff riser to hold it up. So now that board is in there and will not get shocked.
We cut this here with the plexiglass to keep that there. Then we cut the graphics board right there, and then we just kind of Velcroed in. We might actually put plexiglass on top and bottom, but right now the Velcro's working just fine, and you don't really notice the Velcro because it is black, but
we could put a white piece.
Put a white piece something over there. You'll never really know. I mean, it's not
That's a good
that
point. I
bad.
didn't even notice that. We might put something there.
For now, that's what we're doing. We'll figure things out as we go. We're doing this on the fly. We're doing this on the fly. We're rebels. We're crazy. We took a 10-year-old case and turned it into a SNOWBLIND case. We're just having fun. Let's do it. Even if it's a little bit, we'll put some tape there, some electrical tape like we've done before.
Yeah.
White electrical tape on this sticky Velcro.
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. We use electrical tape. White electrical tape around here a lot.
Everywhere. And then we just kind of took a heat gun or air dryer and just kind of melted it on there, and it just looks. It's easy, simple, and really cheap. Well, we'll have to continue on this series because there's a few things still need to be done.
We have the front monitor. We have to finish
figure that out. I didn't cut that piece of plexiglass. Well, I cut it perfectly right, but too much that way.
As a side note, we did finally get this his thing mounted up there.
Yeah.
In the future, we're gonna have to do something to cover up the holes here.
I think I'm gonna use foam.
Foam?
Foam.
And cut it out. And then
I'm just gonna take some foam and then spray paint this car because we got plenty of paint left over, and then stuff it in there. And
yeah, I don't know if we covered this in the last video, but the reason that is that way is because it's actually meant for a car.
Yeah, it's meant for a car. So you put on your hood, and it turns out car hoods are round.
PC cases are flat.
Oh yeah, PC cases square, car hoods round. What's this world coming to?
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, we're almost done. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
And
I think one more video.
Yeah, and then we'll be done.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I really hate coming here to edit videos. Because I never go home. It's 1 beer, then 2 beers, then 3 beers, then a shot, and then it's midnight.
Yeah.
And then I gotta go sleep on the couch.
But stay tuned, subscribe, so you can catch the final video when we finally finish this project up, and any other future PC cases. And if you're interested in watching another one right after this, why don't you check out Braden's Bumblebee case. That was pretty fun. Check that one out.
A lot easier.
And I'm Tristan.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Don.
And
Tag, you're it.
Or my rugged good looks.
Alright, we're recording. Let's go.
Guys can say whatever you want. I'm the best looking out of the three of us. Trevor kicks all of our ass.
Probably true. Yeah.
Trevor's the best looking out of all of us.
Takes after how I used to look at his age.
I saw pictures of you there. You were not. No.